Okay. That was weird. Is this new one showing up at all?
It's showing as waiting. Have you launched it?
Yeah.
Give me a second. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I see it now.
Okay.
So, hello everyone. Sorry for the confusion and the additional.
That was weird, and it wouldn't let me fix the stream.
There was some technical issues on our end that caused some problems. So, sorry about that, everyone. And
well, I don't even know if anyone's on here right now.
Well, people will gravitate. Give it a moment.
So, Kamen Rider 64, we had some technical issues, and YouTube would not let resume the stream. So I had to start a new one, which was really annoying. But all right, we're back, and let's continue where
Absolutely
we were. She was talking about meeting them.
Well, it's obvious that she knew. It'd be stupid otherwise. Oh my god, she sees him. And they probably fell in love. He is still a potential liar. Doesn't matter how nice.
I want to have an episode where he's like, why won't it turn?
Oh, that's pretty awesome. I wish they could. Yeah, I know. That was
I wish they seriously should have like going.
Wait, is there a third one? Jesus.
Tonight I'm dying on turtles. Turtle super everybody.
Okay, that's kind of cool. Doing it. And this is the light, right? Jesus Christ, everybody's obsessed.
Why don't they just leave? Well, that's what I said about the guy in Taiga. I was like, oh, it's that.
Or maybe he was evil, but he changed his ways after 16 years. Or you're gonna now try to communicate with the damn thing after you kill everyone else. Seriously,
I will be back next time.
this just reminds me of the whole American version, I think, where it's like bees that got to leave. It's like, why did that one leave? Useless. I didn't like that. Oh, don't worry, he's gonna be alive. Because that's how Ultraman series work.
I didn't see his parachute. He's okay.
Exactly. Or he dies after saying goodbye to us. Still distrust. I
逃げ
understand.
たシャゴンについては今後我々で監視体制を強化していく。黒子星人の処遇は防衛隊も事情を考慮してくれるだろう。どれだけ早く旅館に帰れるかは石堂君の説得次第だな。
変わって変わって。それならきっとバッチリです。
Jesus
お土産忘れないでね。
Seriously.
お土産って旅行じゃないから。
君のおかげで彼を撃たずに済みました。どうしても悪人とは思えなくて。
Okay. Still, that's
過去の話を聞いたから。 それ
I
よりも
understand the whole see the best in me.
このサインがなんだか温かく見えたんです。
I thought it was a gang symbol.
同じものを見ていたのに。想像力の差か。え？人の身になって考え、胸の内を思いやる。そのために想像力は不可欠です。私もまだまだですね。お待たせしました。じゃあ行きましょうか。行ってきます。
No, you won't. You're gonna go into the gulag. I imagine the GDF has something now for you.
これ、
はい。
意味を教えてくれますか？
何通りもあります。でも、あえて一つ選べば、ありがとうですね。
未来はこの手にあるわ。手を取り合って夢見
No, the reason why we had to restart the stream wasn't admittedly for a copyright issue. If you really would like to know why we had to restart,
Oh, yeah, the computer died.
yes.
And then YouTube would not let me just, even though it was still recording on my end, but it wouldn't actually let me, it wouldn't actually turn the video back on.
Yeah, so it wasn't anything cool like, oh my god, Subaraya or YouTube hit you with a copyright. It was, all honesty, he forgot to plug in the damn computer.
Yep.
The dumbest thing ever.
But still, though, that is weird. That because you think that if people have other issues, they have to do a whole new stream on. They can't just continue where they left off.
Most people know to plug the computer in before they start.
I'm not talking about like that. I'm just talking about like something else happens. That was just.
This is why people probably don't do live streams. They record outside of it, so shit like that don't
藤
happen.
山市に中村さんってすごい先輩がいるらしい。先輩には僕らの戦いがどう見えてるんだろう。次回ウルトラマンアーク
SP
スキップ藤山市4種に
Yes, we can skip it.
先輩
Yes.
Stupid clip shows.
You were being happy that there's a clip.
I mean, I am happy there's a clip show because we don't have to deal with it next week. It's still just stupid clip show. All right. Ooh, Jeremy Johns released his review of Alien Romulus.
Yay.
Ooh, we can watch ourselves on TV.
Oh, please don't. But no, I thought this was. I thought this was.
Okay. Anyway,
I thought it was an okay episode. It was pretty much by the book.
I liked the episode. I feel that if we hadn't just watched that, like Taiga, that had that same plot for episode 6, I would have liked it more. But it was a fun episode. I mean, it was interesting to have the first time they meet an alien outside of those giant monster ones. But the first time they meet an alien, he's a good alien. So I did like that aspect.
Well, I think sometimes having something like that happen, where the first alien you meet is good, sometimes it can help go one of two ways. Or not sometimes it can help. Sometimes it can go one of really two ways, where you have that good alien experience, so you have this positive hope that all aliens will be good, Or you have this good episode, your good alien experience, where then the next alien you meet slaps you in the face essentially to the point where you're like, was that just a one-off type of thing? Or maybe I'm putting my pessimism into the element that I don't trust anyone.
No. You have pessimism? I was going to say that your American is showing because you don't trust the alien at all.
Well, is that necessarily fully an American thing? Because I truthfully don't trust anyone.
Yeah, American thing. See, here the dude, oh shoot, what's his name? Ark.
The kiddo.
Yeah.
Can't remember his name.
Oh my god, I can't think of it now. But he was all trusting. He's like a normal Japanese person. And then you have this guy that's, I'm like American. I'm not going to trust you one bit. But Yuma, yes, thank you.
Oh, shit. What happened?
Huh. What did you do now?
Nothing. Yuma, yes. Well, if anything, the X-Files has taught us is that the truth is out there. That is very true. Did you actually ever watch X-Files?
I watched the stuff that came after the movie. Because I saw the movie in theaters. Then I watched the season or two after the movie. And then
so you weren't there from the beginning?
No.
Wow.
And then I kind of lost interest.
Well, I lost interest well before the movie, so.
But I did like the movie.
I never saw the movie.
But it was a fine episode. Yeah, it was pretty by the book. But that seems to be this show in a nutshell. It's a safe Ultraman series. It feels like they're like, well, we took so many risks with Blazer. We need to hold it back now again.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily, in my opinion, that they're holding it back because they took so many risks. I think really what it was is I think of it more as not really sure what to do next.
Well, it's also because this is the first time Ultraman has been on for a decade straight.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've never had this is their 11th year, so Blazer was the 10th year. But this is the first time they've had a complete decade of nonstop stream shows for Ultra shows.
And that's probably why I think they just don't know what to do.
And I feel like, it is hurting their quality. Because, they're repeating their plot lines. They don't know what they really want to do anymore. I'm sure Bandai has a hand in it because Bandai's now has this full grip on why there's been yearly shows now for a decade because the toys are successful. So now they want to say more about the series because it seems like the more popular a show gets, the more they start to put their cooks in the kitchen.
Well, I think that's the challenge with any franchise.
And that's, I think, the problem with Kamen Rider as well, is that Bandai has put more cooks in the kitchen on Kamen Rider, whereas Sentai, they don't care about Sentai as much anymore. So that's why we got Don Brothers and King Ogre.
Well, you say that. I think, so Bandai has always been that problematic business partner. We even noticed that if you think about it with some of the Gundam series. That's one of the reasons why G Gundam decided to troll their parents, so to speak, and say, if you really want this for toy sales, we're going to make you work for it. And you think about it similar to like Hollywood, where a lot of the Hollywood execs, especially when you work under a big umbrella like Disney, Warner, Universal, what have you, they have their expectations of what it's like. And it's not until you have a series or a movie or anything like that that severely tests the boundaries or pushes the envelope. I'm actually going to reference Deadpool real quick.
I was actually going to say Deadpool.
Because Deadpool, when Disney bought Fox, nobody was concerned about anything, well, jokingly, about anything outside of Deadpool because what Deadpool did. And so you have a similar thing in Japan because tokusatsu is taking on that dual perspective of being for kids, but knowing that the birth rate in Japan, just like America, is dropping, they're also trying to nail in that nostalgia base. And so since they're trying to do both hand in hand, Bandai needs to make money for toys. The studios need to make money to continue existing. So they're going to have very conflicting perspectives, and that's why I think a series like Arc is not necessarily a terrible thing.
It's just a safe show.
It's a safe,
which is actually like what Boominger is this year.
Well,
Boominger is a safe show.
Well, what I was going to say is sometimes after having either one or two or more incredible series, however it works, you sometimes have what's called that breather. That's like think of it like any of the Marvel movies, where you have that one movie that's really
like all Phase 4?
No, I was going to say a movie that's kind of, I know what you're going with, but I'm trying to ignore it. But you have that like exposition type movie that helps tighten everything together. And even though you don't have that in this series because they're all insular into their own universe, you sometimes have to have that thing as a stopgap while you plan on what can you do next. And I feel like Gov is that for Kamen Rider, because they've had some really poor series. They don't know what to do. So they're trying to go with this safe zone. And as much as you might like or dislike Junko, the one positive is she is a great safe zone writer while you're trying to plan. Because I feel like that's why she was brought in for Zenkaiger. It's the worst thing to do for an anniversary series. But she was a safe zone.
Well, she also did Zyuohger, which was an anniversary series.
But she's that safe zone from before and after. If you had really bad series, you have her as a safety net while people plan and come up with, oh shit, we got to do something really, really good. Because with Ultraman, you had Trigger and Decker, which were not the greatest.
Well, Trigger was freaking awful.
I know they have their fan bases, and I'm not going to insult their fan bases, but those two were very difficult series for the wider audience. Then Blazer was so good, and while it's all pre-recorded and shit like that, there is that planning in mind of like, oh shit, okay. We haven't been able to come up with something. We have to do something while we plan for the future. Because businesses do it all the time.
Well, whatever. But, so right now, 6 episodes in, it is a safe series. I like it better than Trigger and Decker. But I would say it is probably the weakest of the... Or, well, I guess I shouldn't say that, but because it's better than Trigger and Decker, but it is totally.
It's going to be middle of the pack.
Yes,
that's where it's going to.
Unless it really ends up taking off in the next.
Well, and I was going to say we're still early as hell in the series, So we're not even at the halfway point. So who knows? It could shoot up. But as it stands right now, I'm looking at it as that middle of the pack safe bet while they plan for their future. So with that in mind, because of planning, there's other questions as well. Do you have any plans for October month so far? Since we're actually coming pretty damn close to it.
We're gonna do some Kaiju no Kami versus AI with Tales from the Crypt and Twilight Zone.
I'm actually going to do some I'm going to do some videos on horror and talk about some of the newer trends in horror and stuff like that. But we're trying to find different ways, and absolutely put in the comments anything that you think could help the channel grow.
I'm also going to do the first Ju-on theatrical movie to continue last year when I did the 2 direct-to-video movies. And I keep thinking if I want to do something like another Garl thing for October, but I'm not sure yet.
And then Star Wars fan made a really good comment about Ultraman, and that could be a possibility for this series. A lot of the older Ultra fans have kids, and they want to get their kids into Ultraman, and sometimes you use that safe bet series to ease them in. Well, I think, truthfully, Ultraman is a franchise that you now have grandparents, parents, and children, because it is truly where it started is that multi-generation.
Depending on the age, it could be great grandparents too.
I'm going to be nice and just say grandparents. And speaking of Sentai, do you wonder what the 49th series theme could be after Boonger?
Well, there are rumors circling it's going to be an animal theme. What was it? Animal themed. And I forgot what the other thing I saw, some rumor of. I think it'd be kind of interesting, even though I don't like long series, if they planned the Anniversary Sentai was a 2-year long series. Or a 2-year adventure, even like
going 49 to 50.
49 to 50, same characters throughout both series, but they change powers up. Kind of like how Power Rangers did it from going from Mighty Morphin to Zeo.
Oh, I was thinking of the Mega Force to Super
No.
Force.
Well, I guess you could do that, but similar to that it's a 2-year long show, but they change powers at the start of the second year for a new gimmick. Maybe the first year is on Earth, second year they go out to space.
That's fair. I think that could be something interesting, because I actually kind of got the feel for that with Zenkaiger to Dawn Brothers, because the Henshin,
the gears carried over.
Looked very similar.
But it was all new characters and everything.
Oh, yes. No, I understand that.
I think it'd be interesting to do.
But you did have Kaito's actor bridge between the two, and I thought that also gave him as an actor room to grow. So, Star Wars fan, on your question of what was wrong with Trigger and Decker, so it is hard. What I would say for both of them is that,
well, there was a lot wrong with Trigger.
For both series in its entirety, I would say it's because they really tried to sell it that these were going to be next generation shows that harkened on the nostalgia of their original counterparts.
Okay. The problem with Trigger, one, none of the cast except really the main character got development. They brought in the actor who played Bosco and Gokaiger, who barely did anything. They had a girl who basically just got around because her dad was the commander of the organization. for being a show that was all supposed to be about Trigger or Tiga, there were only 4 Tiga monsters in the entire thing. The rest were Showa era monsters, which was really annoying because they had Gabila in an episode when that could have been Geozark. So there was that. Again, no character development. The plots were very boring. It just repeated the same tropes.
Now, moving on to Decker, why did you feel Decker? Because I know why I feel, but
Decker it worked. Decker was an improvement over Trigger. Also, keeping it as a smaller cast helped. The problem is Decker just didn't do anything interesting.
I think the challenge that I had for both series simultaneously is that selling it for that nostalgia piece and not really having much of that nostalgia. And then alongside that, I also felt the characters did not really grow from where they started in the series. They tried to force growth, but it felt, for a storytelling perspective, it felt disingenuous rather than actually being a legitimate progression to make you feel as though you are a part of the story with the characters. I don't have to like the characters for them to grow. They could be terrible human beings. And if they grow within the story somehow, and it doesn't have to be monumental, but just something, it lacked that for me. And so
well, the other problem is the Earth was encased by all these ships, so they were isolated. But there were no consequences for the Earth being isolated. Nothing on the planet was getting limited. Nothing was dying. It was just basically an inconvenience.
So, Commodore 64, I am going to comment on this. Of 2024 is flying by fast. So, I am going to give you a quick, brief, funny history of how I've looked at 2024. January went on for 6 months. February through April went on.
No, February was pretty long too.
Well, February through April went by for another 4 months rather than the 3 it was. Then when we got to May, June, July banged out. I was like, holy shit, where did these last 3 months go? And I feel like they had to bang out because January was so long. You can tell me that per the calendar, January was only 31 days, and I can prove to you that those 31 days took 6 months to go through.
Well, you can't really prove.
I know, but mentally it did. And physically it did. And then August, the fact that we're already halfway through August is amazing.
Yeah, next week's Power Morphicon.
Well, so
I feel like we were just buying our tickets for it.
But admittedly, once you got past Q1 of 2024, it has sped up. And I think that's really because depending on what industry you may be working in, if you were in certain areas or dealt with anything like I did in the aerospace industry or the tech industry, all hell broke loose. But going beyond my diatribe, do you like ARC more than Boom Boom Ger?
I still like Boom Boom Ger more.
I like Boom Boom Ger more, except for the last 4 or 5 episodes that we have watched of Boom Boom Ger.
I would say 4 because I did like the ATM machine monster, auto monster.
We'll get through that. One recommendation for Halloween month, maybe to even expand your channel, is review the most recent Garo series.
Well, I would need to do the other ones first that lead into that series.
Well, I understand that, but you need to do that. Commodore 64, did you review Ultraman Rising?
No, we haven't even watched it. And I wouldn't review it unless I have a physical disc to review it from.
I wonder if Tori already started work on the next Sentai, Toei, for 2025 already. I imagine they did some planning. They've already started.
If there's
planning.
rumors, it means they're planning.
Yes. And I think for the 50th anniversary Sentai in 2026, Toei can make a sequel to Go Ranger with the return of the Black Cross Army and the team being made up of the Go Rangers' grandchildren. I think that could work, and if not grandchildren, we can pick on his sentimentality and go with great-grandchildren. But no, I think that could be really cool, especially if any of the Go Rangers, because I think most of them are still with us. Alive, I mean.
4 of them are.
So if they did something like that, they could possibly have 1 or 2 of them just make a cameo if they couldn't participate in the series. Are you guys aware of the controversy surrounding the actor that played the Green Samurai Ranger? Green Samurai Ranger.
What? Oh, Power Rangers. The guy he was the one that they were looking for because he pushed an old man down.
Oh, in Japan or America?
No, America. The Samurai Power Ranger.
Oh.
You were the one that said he was wanted.
Oh, yes.
Because he pushed
an older
guy down because of a parking space.
Yes, which was a little bit of a bitch-ass move. Hope you have fun. If you get merch, please show it off in a video. So if we get merch, I will admittedly say any merch that is bought, that is not Shoto or any of that bullshit that he gets. Oh, I love you, but it's bullshit. But it would be henshin devices.
We don't have
gimmicks.
money for that. So, Anyway.
Gimmicks.
Black Sun I won't review because there's not a physical disc for it.
Sometimes you gotta get off your head. Maybe for October you can do a top 10 favorite Japanese horror films. I could absolutely do something like that.
What do I have in my top 10? Because I don't even know.
Are we gonna really think about that now?
Well, I'm just saying I don't even know if I really have 10.
That's because you're pathetic.
I mean, most of them would be Ju-on and Ring.
Oh, I have 10.
But
all right, maybe. So I want to see them ban CGI in Sentai. So I don't necessarily want to get to it in here, but I would love to do a video on King Oger from what we've heard about how they filmed that with the CGI aspect. But I do like that Mechanic Silo said, we need gimmicks, sell me gimmicks. Amazon actually sells the gimmicks for a really decent price. If I bought any gimmicks, I would admittedly probably not buy them on a convention floor because they're usually upcharged. Hector David Jr. is the actor's name for Green Samurai. I heard somewhere that the Green Samurai had anger issues.
Clearly.
I can't believe Kamen Rider V3 is getting a Blu-ray.
Yep.
Kaiju isn't pathetic, he's a legend. His haircut is pathetic. Well, okay. I can't laugh at that one because I'm the one who shaves his head. He likes that longer part, though.
So do you.
Well, that's because if I look at you with that one side that has, if I just hide this, it looks weird to see with a shaved head.
Whatever.
But
I am hungry though.
But yes, I am looking forward to it. We're gonna try to, if I can hold up some sort of voice over the weekend, to do some more Kaiju versus AI. Plus, I do want to do some videos for the animation side of our channel, talking about cartoon history. It will probably be clipless, but talking about the history of cartoons and fun stuff like that.
All right.
And who's worse, Vic, Jonathan, or Majors, or TJ Miller?
Vic.
Yes. I am just going to say yes for all three.
What did I don't even know what TJ Miller did.
TJ Miller, he went on this crazy ass diatribe.
Is that why he wasn't in Deadpool 3? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. But anyway, I'm hungry. We want to watch something, and then I'm going to go back to working on my Zen Kaiju review.
And I am going to go to sleep
Because
I have to be up at 6 a.m. tomorrow again.
Because I really want to get that Zen Kaiju review out before we go to Power Morphicon. So click like, subscribe, the bell notification, whatever else YouTube has you click on to support us. You can support us on Patreon and Bluesky at tokuaannetwork, Network, Facebook, Instagram, Discord at Kaiju no Kami, and the website is creativitybydesignllc.com. You can also buy cool Kaiju no Kami merchandise at creativitybydesignllc.com/shop. Or there's a link in the description below. And until next time, bye-bye.